Yeah. So now I'm going to share my screen with all of you. And it's nice to see everybody. My name is Mike Ward. For those of you who don't know me, I'm the president of Fast Forward American English. You can see here on my shirt. And for those of you who don't know us, we're an online English school that's located in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I'm so happy to see all of you today. Thank you so much for coming. What today's webinar is an introduction to a revolutionary and agile way to learn English, which I think all of you are interested in. Okay. I think this should take about an hour, probably. Originally, I was thinking that it would be 90 minutes, but I think it's going to be a little bit shorter than that. And again, that's probably good news for you because that means your night can start a little bit earlier. There are 5 modules in the presentation, and I think several of the topics will be new for you. If you have any questions, please hold them until the end. We'll have a little bit of a question and answer session at that. So again, English for Agile People, adaptable language skills for today's IT environment. Oops. Okay, so I would like now to have my co-presenters, Clara and Alice, introduce themselves next. So hello, Suyan, how are you?
Hello, Mike. I'm great, and you?
Very good. Okay. Clara, can you introduce yourself? Give them a little background, please.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I have more than 24 years in IT industry, mostly on banking and insurance sectors. And in the latest 10 years, I've been working in quality, software development, and DevOps, and Agile, and so on. And I dedicated my last 2 years doing volunteering, and that's my background. And now I'm teaching as well in the boot camp and MBA here in Brazil. It's online at XP Educação, XP Educação, XP Education.
Very
Okay,
nice.
you are invited.
Oh, good. Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Alice, over to you.
Okay, thanks. Well, I'm Alice. I'm a psychologist. I have 16 years of experience in HR. And nowadays, I'm working in the career area at BRQ. It's a technology company. And I think that's it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thanks very much. Thanks very much, Alice.
Thank you.
And thanks, Clara. You will hear more from Alice and Clara in the second part of the presentation. Okay, so before we really get into the presentations, let's now that you know us, let's have a little introduction for all of you. So how about if we just say our names, where we work, and what our job is. And Billy, let me start with you.
Okay, my name is Billy. I'm working at Itaú Bank. I'm data analytics lead.
Okay. Suyan, what about you? You're next.
I'm Suyan. I'm working at Big Pay, digital wallet here in Brazil, and I'm responsible for new business and partnerships.
Okay. And Lennon, over to you.
Well, I'm Lennon. I'm an associate developer at Programmers Inc. And I'm from Jales.
Okay.
São Paulo.
All right. Cristiane, are you there?
Yes, I'm Cristiane Silva. I'm working at Bosch Company. I am a project manager.
Okay, great. Okay, let's see. Ana Paula, you're next. Can you?
Yes, can I hear me?
Yes, you can.
Yes, I've been working at Santander, Brazil, as a product owner.
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, Thiago.
So, sorry. I'm Thiago. I am working at Next Bank. I am a Scrum Master there.
Okay, thanks. Okay, Douglas.
Hi, I'm Douglas. I'm from Programmers, and I'm responsible for the internal communication of the all company.
Okay, yeah. Deborah.
Hi, I'm team leader in America company, and I live in São Paulo city.
Okay. Oh, look, this is my friend Leonardo. Oh, that's very nice, Leonardo. How are you? Good to see you. Okay.
Hey Mike, how are you? I'm fine. Well, my name is Leonardo and I work as Agile Master at PagSeguro here in Brazil.
Mhm. And did I see Renata there? Oh my goodness, that is Renata. Hello.
Yes, this is me, my friend.
Oh my goodness. So, Renata, would you please introduce yourself?
I'm a lawyer. I work as a lawyer, and I work taking care of some Instagrams too.
Mhm.
So a little bit of everything.
Yes, Renata is actually the newest member of the Fast Forward team. You know, she literally just started with us, and she's doing so those nice posts that you have seen from us recently with the videos and things like that. Those are Renata's handiwork, and I'm very happy to have her on there. Well, thanks everybody for coming. Did I forget anybody? I think I got everybody. Yeah, I think I've got everybody. Great. Okay. Here's a look at the agenda for today, so you guys can get an idea of what we're going to talk about. You know, we're going to talk a little bit. I want to give you just a little background as to what Fast Forward does. Of course, we're going to talk about Agile in a couple of different ways, and then what you can expect tonight, what you should take away from the night, the modules. I have a break scheduled, but when we get to this point, I think I'll ask you guys if you want to take the break or just continue on to the finish. We can skip it if you like. And there'll be some testing towards the end. Don't worry, it's not terrible. And then will be some conclusions and questions. So this is our agenda for today. So let me just start with a bit of an introduction of Fast Forward, and I do this in the terms of the 5 W's, which are the question words in English: who, what, when, where, why, and where, who, what, when, where, why. I got them all. Okay, and what. So let's start with who. So Fast Forward, as I said, is based in Philadelphia, and we have been teaching English online since 2013. The company was founded to address the needs of working professionals who required better language skills, sorry, in order to advance their careers. That's as simple as that as who. What do we teach? Our curriculum is based on flexibility and reaction. Okay, we anticipate the changing needs of our students. Does that sound familiar to you Agilists out there? I hope so. Okay, we teach what you need in order for you to succeed. Okay, it's as simple as that. Okay, why do we do it this way? Because I don't believe there's any other language school that really does it the same way, that focuses on individual student success. I became aware of this when I was a teacher at Kaplan in Philadelphia for 10 years. I met Renata there as many years ago, actually. And I'll say this very simply, and I'll probably repeat myself, but time is money, ladies and gentlemen. And I know that your time is precious, and I want to teach things that matter to you immediately. And our goal is to be efficient and effective. When do we teach? 7 days a week. We teach, you know, in the morning and at night. So our availability is good. Where do we teach? Typically we use Zoom, of course, or Teams, or or Google. And I will give you one more, which is how. So we teach through conversation almost exclusively. Conversation is really the lifeblood of language. And our courses are focused primarily on giving you the ability to communicate ideas comfortably and confidently, more than anything. Okay, so that's my little background as to fast forward, and let's move on to the agile part of the presentation now. So let's see. What does agile mean? Okay, what does it mean for you? And why have I chosen this particular animal to represent that? So let me see. How about if I ask Christiani, what does agile mean? What's your definition of that?
To delivery fast some products or development something.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm not going to argue with you. You guys are the experts here today. Billy, what about you? What's agile? What's agility? What does that mean to you?
The agile that you go to one point to other point in the fast way, the important how that we can do in the agile way.
Okay. Anna Paula, what about you? What does agile mean to you?
For me, almost the same structure, I believe, well. Do the best, better, in minimal time.
Okay, good. Yeah, I like that. Minimal time. Okay. Suyan, what about you? I didn't know you were an agilist. Do you know agile? What does that mean to you?
I'm not an expert, but I usually work with some squads and they use the agile method. So what I know, I'm not sure if it's totally right, but as everybody said, is the faster way to do things and maybe do things parallel as well to, you know, put more things together and do it separately.
Okay. Lennon, do you know the name of that animal in English?
Is a cheetah?
Well, yeah, close enough. It's a cheetah, but it's close enough. A cheetah, yeah.
Cool.
Why do I have that? Why have I selected this animal to represent agile or agility?
Well, it is a very fast animal, but I think you selected because it is an animal that can change directions very quickly.
Absolutely. Well said, my friend. Good, exactly what. I'm sure that all of you have sometime in your life watched some kind of a documentary about Africa and watched a cheetah chase another animal. And they are extremely fast, but they have the ability to change direction, like we say in English, on a dime, like. So it's a good avatar for agility. So, and I think that most of you are proponents of agile methodology, and I'm sure that you believe that it is a fantastic way to approach problem solving. Okay, but I believe also that you would say that sometimes it fails, and why? Why does agility fail? Why does agile fail? Anybody want to give me a little answer to that? Anybody know why does agile fail? Clara, I'm going to go to you. You're the expert. Why does agile not work? Or can you give me an opinion? Like, why does agile sometimes not work?
Because this depends on the team with person's abilities and know each other, know where you are going, the targets of the company. These all kinds of things can be a challenge for everyone.
Fantastic.
And depends on the not only the teams, the owners, the stakeholders, and every ecosystem is different. So you have to analyze that. If you put the Agile, like, oh, okay, I will use the Scrum or Kanban, and maybe this doesn't work because the platform, the company is totally different. So you have to learn about the company, learn about the ecosystem, and then you approach to the better framework or methodology.
Fantastic, fantastic. Yeah, and I think that sums it up very well. So here are 3 reasons that I chose. Okay. External pressure to follow traditional methods, lack of experience or support, or insufficient training. Okay. And so I chose these 3 specifically because standard English courses fail in the same way as this. That there are traditional ways to learn English. Some of you may have attended those English schools. They serve a purpose, but they don't serve the purpose that's most necessary for people in the IT business. Okay. Lack of experience with anything new, lack of support for anything new, and of course, insufficient training, which brings me to here today. Okay, so we want to fix that. Fast Forward wants to fix that. And the webinar is going to give you an idea as to how we're going to make this happen. Okay, so what this course is not, ladies and gentlemen, is not a course on agile methodology. Hanata said earlier, she's not an expert. I'm not an expert either. There are several of you who are experts on agile methodology, and I'm not here to tell you about agile methodology. It's not designed to give you, this course is not designed to give you a better working knowledge of Scrum or Kanban or any of the other agile frameworks or methodologies. Okay, it is also not a course on English grammar or a course on pronunciation per se. In other words, it's not a waterfall as you see in the picture here. Okay, it really is a preview of something that we want to do as a training course, and we're going to give you little bits of what we're hoping to do in a larger context a little bit. So, what should you take away from tonight? So, what you should take away is really a better sense of how English works. I think it's a failing of the education system that most people don't tell you how the language works differently than your own language. And most people believe that English and Portuguese, they grow up thinking that they work the same, and they do not. Okay. We also want to give you we want to raise the expectations that you have, and we want to can I say this, give you a heightened sense of your own abilities with the language. I believe that many of you already can speak and communicate English very well. Okay, but you have some problems doing it, and we're going to talk a little bit more about those. Okay, the webinar and the courses that follow it are meant to reveal some secrets, you know, that only native speakers would know, and to provide you with that knowledge. And in doing so, we hope to increase your confidence. And I'm going to say that word a lot tonight. We hope to increase your confidence so that you can better use the abilities you already possess. Clara and Alice are going to speak more to those points a little bit later, but you can think about it as like unlocking a box and letting out what is in there. Okay, so that's the introduction. Let's get into the actual thing. So, Agile or Agile. Now, if you have been listening carefully to me, you have probably heard me pronouncing it both ways. However, as an American, I would normally use this pronunciation, and I'm spelling it incorrect just because I'm trying to emphasize the difference between the two ways to say it: Agile or Agile. Okay, most Portuguese speakers pronounce it in the second way, Agile. And there's a reason for that. And there's a reason why I pronounce it in the first way. And that reason is a little thing called stress. All right. So our first module tonight is about stress patterns in something called North American English. It's the acronym is NAE here. I'm an American, ladies and gentlemen, and so I cannot teach you Australian English or Irish English or English from South Africa. But I know North American English very well. I've been speaking it all my life, and I've been teaching it for now 16 years. Okay? So most of you, I would bet, would pronounce this as agile. Okay, it's part of the way that stress works, and to understand and effectively use these, you need to have an agile or agile mindset. And what I mean by that, guys, is that you have to constantly fine-tune and tweak things, which is part of the process of an agile methodology. Okay, stress is a topic that we're going to cover a lot in the things that follow. But while we're here, let's have a little fun with it. So, okay, let me see. So as you can see here, I have I have 3 words in Portuguese, 3 words in English, and they are almost identical. However, the stress patterns of these words are very different. Portuguese is a language that's based on syllables. English is a language that's based more on stress. So let me see. Let me have a volunteer to speak Portuguese. Let's see. Cristiane, let me call on you again. Okay. Can you say these words in Portuguese for me, please?
Inteligente.
Yeah.
Refrigerador.
Good. And
computador.
Beleza. Portuguese is excellent. Oh my, so fantastic. Good. And maybe you heard inteligente, refrigerador, computador. Pardon my bad in Portuguese, excuse me. So now, over here in the English side of things, you have a little bit of a different pronunciation. And so Jan, I am going to ask you if you would pronounce these 3 words in English for me, please.
Intelligent, refrigerator, computer.
Good. The second one, not so good.
Refrigerator.
Refrigerator. Very good. Very good. So if we go and say intelligent, okay, it's pretty much the same stress for every one of these syllables. Intelligent. Okay. As you heard Suyan, intelligent, second syllable stress. Okay. The same thing here. Refrigerador. It's pretty even, but the stress in Portuguese tends to go to the end of a word, if there is any. And in here, refrigerator, second syllable. Computador, computer. Okay. Stress is really a key thing for us. All right. It really is a that. Now, why do I pronounce? I'm getting a little ahead of myself. So there are some basic rules to this, because you might say, Mike, how does this work? It's very simple. Well, not exactly, but there are some rules here. In English, if there was a word that has 2 syllables, generally we accent it on the first syllable if it's a noun and sometimes an adjective. If it's a verb, we accent it on the second syllable. Okay, so if I go back here, can anybody tell me why I say this instead of this? Based on what I just told you?
Because that is a noun.
Yeah, because agile is a noun or an adjective. It's not a verb. And so if this were a verb, I would typically stress it where you stress it, agile, okay, or mobile, okay? but because the patterns of North American English are more front-loaded when it comes to nouns and adjectives, I pronounce this word as agile. Okay, and again, you can see that at play here. So it's one of these things where it's important that you understand these rules, and these are general rules. Please understand that they're general rules. So it's quite apparent to me that stress affects what we call the length of English words, and it makes them seem fast to the listener. Now let's take this concept. Oh, wait a minute. I'm forgetting something here. Sorry about that. Oh, geez. I'm losing myself here. I need to show you how this can work in English, because we have words that are the same, and we differentiate them from how we accent them. So these words, as you can see, are exactly the same. The spelling of them is exactly the same, but the pronunciation of them is different because of what their functionality is. So let's see. Is Leonardo, are you still there? Oh, no, I guess
Oh, yeah, I'm here. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Leonardo, that's okay. Can you say this word for me?
It's increase.
Say again?
Increase.
Make this in bigger. Increase.
Increase.
Good. And some of you will be fighting this because your own intonation is going to say, no, I want this to be even. It's not even, okay? It's irregular. Say again, Leonardo. Increase.
Increase.
Now, this is the verb. Say the verb, please.
Increase.
Increase, okay? Increase, increase. Good. Lennon, this word, please.
Research.
Good. The verb.
Research.
Nice work. Good work. Okay. Let's see. Henata. Let me get you into this. This word. Oh.
I was at the mute. Progress.
And the verb?
Progress.
Very good. Okay. So now I need a volunteer to say this big sentence. Let's see. Oh, I can get Billy to do this because he's done this before. Billy, can you read this sentence for me, please?
The increase in research has allowed us to progress significantly.
Significantly. Very nice. Very nice. Let's see. Suyan, can you do that sentence also?
The increase in research has allowed us to progress significantly.
Good work. And if I said it in my own tone, it would sound something like this. The increase in research has allowed us to progress significantly. I'm speaking in my own voice, and I'm not slowing down. This is just the way that I would speak that. And as I was saying earlier, because I got ahead of myself, these are very, very important. Okay, it affects the length of how we say the words, and it seems fast to you when I speak that way, but it's really not fast. Okay, it's more short than fast. Okay, which brings me to the second module, which is called talking small. Okay. So in English, we reduce sounds all the time, okay? They are a product of irregular stress. Progress, one syllable is strong, one syllable is weak. One syllable is spoken, the other is reduced. It's just the way that English works. And it's different from Portuguese in that respect, and something that is very important to know. All right, so we're going to use this to illustrate another agile concept, which is don't waste time. Okay, and even in speech, even a half a second adds up over time, and so this illustrates the way that we speak very quickly. But Reductions are not confined to English, okay? Portuguese can be small too, okay? How many of you say now eh? None of you, I would guess, right? What do you say instead of that, Leonardo?
Ne.
Ne, right? Yeah, have any of you ever said now eh? Maybe, but I've never heard it. I've never heard anybody ever say that. You say ne, you know, and it's a contracted version. And if you can keep that thought, if you can hold on to that thought, it'll be easier to see how we do it in English too. And there may be other words too oh, well, nossa is another one. Nossa is short for Nossa Senora, right? So nos. Okay. In English, there is a hierarchy of stressed words. All right. And it's important to understand this because these words over here on the left are important for us. Why? Let's see. Lennon, this is the little grammar part. Can you tell me what a noun is?
Mm.
This is the hard part.
Now, yeah, this is, for me is a very hard part.
Oh, don't worry, I'm not gonna. Don't
now is a. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. What is it?
Now is a something that you actually going to use in your sentence. I know that's not the definition, but it is the simplest way that I can think of.
It's fine. Let me make this a little bit. Nouns are the names of things. Simple enough. Lennon, you're a noun.
Yeah.
Billy's a noun. Suyan's a noun. Calculator's a noun. I'm a noun, etc. It would be a very funny world if we didn't have names for things. Names are important. They're the most important things in English. And they're almost always stressed, meaning that we speak the entire word of it because we need to know things, okay? The other things in this strong column, verbs give things actions, and adjectives and adverbs describe those other two things, okay? In most standard English intonations, these are the words that you will hear from us almost completely, okay? Because they're important. On the other hand, we have the weak or unstressed parts. These are pronouns, the auxiliary verbs of like be, do, have, must, can, can't, prepositions, which I know you all hate, to, for, in, on, at, conjunctions, but, on, but, yet, or, and articles of the, and. These are words that are weak, meaning that they don't contain a lot of information for us. And so most of the time when we speak these words, we don't say them completely. And we tend to mash them together with the stronger words to form something called a sound block. All right. The key, one of the secrets of tonight's presentation is to be able to listen not for words, but to listen for blocks of sound which compose sentences. And now that you have this information, I think that we should try to decipher what these sentences say. I've written these sentences the way that I think they would sound, the way that they should be written if they sounded, if we wrote them the way they sounded. So let's see. Let me have another volunteer for this one. Alice, let me put you to work on this. Don't worry, that's okay. Can you read this sentence or these blocks of sound? Can you read that?
Today
Okay, come on.
I never know.
Okay, well let's. You can go to here. I have to. Yeah.
I have to gotta work.
Good. That's pretty good. Who can give me this big block of sound here? Christiani, what does this say?
Today.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow.
Good, 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 good. I
have to go to work.
Oh, good. Okay. So this sentence, if it were written in regular English, would say, today and tomorrow, I have to go to work. Now I'm saying that and I'm pronouncing everything. The way that Christiani read it, and she did a pretty good job, she was close. It doesn't sound anything like that because of the reductions and the stress in it. It sounds like this in my native speak. It would sound like this. Today and tomorrow I have to go to work. Now, if you are listening for all of the little words in there, you'll never hear them. Like today and tomorrow, not today and tomorrow. I have to go to work. All of those twos are going away. They're becoming tuz and does, and the and is becoming an and. So today and tomorrow I have to go to work. Most people never know that. They never realize that. And for those of you who have to work with native speakers, get ready, because that's what it's going to sound like to you. That's what we teach. That to be able to hear this, to be able to hear it, to be able to speak it is a little bit differently. So let me see, Douglas, can you do number 2 for me, please?
Oh my God.
Easy.
Winner gonna to lunch.
Okay, so what's this first one?
Winery.
Yeah, good. When are we?
Winner gonna to lunch.
Good. When are we gonna go to lunch? Okay. When I speak, you can hear it, right? When I speak it, you can hear, when are we going to go to lunch? Okay. But you can see what I'm doing here. I'm reducing this. This is not going to go. It's just gonna now. And many of you know gonna, okay? And this is when are we? But again, are and we are pronouns, are weak. And when is an adverb. When are we gonna go to lunch? Okay, that's and the last one I think is the most difficult. The most difficult. Let me see. Who am I gonna give this one to? Suyan, you should be okay on this one. Can you do the last one, Suyan?
Don't sure. Oh, this first one is difficult because probably when I have to another meeting, it's okay.
Okay, good. Probably want to have another meeting. Good. Okay, good.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna have another meeting.
Who wants to have another meeting? That's the question. That's what this is. Who wants to have another meeting?
Customer, maybe.
Good.
Yeah.
The customer will.
The
customer will. Okay. The customer will probably want to have another meeting. That's how if I wrote it, but if I spoke it, it would look more like this. The customer will probably want to have another meeting. Okay. That's my accent, but it's fairly representational of how the accents work here. Okay. The customer will probably want to have another meeting. All right. And I want you to notice something. Work, lunch, and meeting are all very obvious because they're nouns, and we need to know. You can kind of figure today, a lot of the rest of these are the weak words, and so they get crushed together and made into a block of sound. Customer, you can kind of see in here, and I reduced the into the. All right, so this is some fun stuff, and I always enjoy doing this little exercise. Now, it's not to say that weak words never get stressed. You can stress any word, and that's called inflection. It just gives the sentence a different meaning. This is what's called standard intonation. So if to illustrate this point, module 3 is called coulda, woulda, shoulda. Okay. Now, for those of you who have worked with American companies, coulda, woulda, shoulda is an idiom, and I chose to use it. Has anybody ever heard the idiom coulda, woulda, shoulda? Anybody? Leonardo, you must have heard coulda, woulda, shoulda, right?
Yeah. I already listened it.
Yeah, if you listen, coulda, woulda, shoulda is a way that we express regret. Like, oh, I could have gone to the concert. Yeah, coulda, woulda, shoulda. I should have called you last night. Yeah, coulda, shoulda, woulda. It's something that we say you can't change it, but now you talk about it like you want to change it. I use this to illustrate a little bit of modalities in English, and I will tell you a funny story. When I first started teaching English, back when I first met Hanata all those years ago, I had no idea what a modality was. And the other teachers would always be talking about, oh, do you know modalities? Yes, the modals are great today. I had no idea what they were talking about. They are the words like could, would, and should, and may, and might, and must, and have to, and several other words. Okay, we call them modals, but I like the longer term. They're a helping verb that never changes form, and usually is followed an adverb. Okay, so I could work harder. We should have a meeting. Okay, and I earlier this year I took a Scrum training with programmers, and Alexandre McFadden was teaching a 2-day class in that, and he brought up this little slide. Okay, and those of you who know Scrum can fill in the blanks for me here. Okay, so what words can I use to fill in these words? Can, could, should, must. Anybody want to take a little bit of a time with this? Okay, so somebody was a product owner. Who's the product owner? Deborah, that was you, right?
No, I'm telling there.
Okay, who's the product owner? Was somebody a product owner?
Yes, me.
Okay, Ana Paula. Product goal. What? Oh no, do the second one. A product owner. What word can I use in here? Should?
Can, also.
Can is the word, exactly. Can also be a Scrum Master. Okay. Douglas, do you know Scrum? You work for an agile company, okay?
A little.
Yeah, a little bit. Okay. All work in a sprint. Must contribute to the product goal. Good. So for the rest of these, there coulds and shoulds and woulds and things like that. They can be placed in there. Sometimes you can have a little bit of both. Okay, but they're important in Scrum for sure. All right. This is the part where I had intended to take a break. Now, I can push through this if you like, and you guys can go home a little bit early, or we can take a break. What do you think? You want to keep going? Okay, I'm getting thumbs up here. Great. Okay, because I'm afraid that if you take a break, you won't come back. So we'll push through this. Thank you very much for this. I'm going to turn the presentation over now to Clara and Alice, and they are going to relate some personal and professional experiences that I'm sure will be helpful to all. And I'm going to introduce this particular slide, and you all know what this means, yes? You're all smiling, yes? Vai comer o mesmo, right? How's my Portuguese? All right? Yeah, okay, thank you very much. My intonation is probably not good, but I know what this means. And this was suggested by Clara, and it means go forward with no fear, or something to that effect. Is that right? Don't be afraid, just go forward.
Right.
Clara and Alice are now going to talk a bit about something that's very, very critical to this training. And I'm going to introduce Clara first, who's going to talk to you a little bit about a presentation her first presentation in English, okay? And it's called Bravery in the Face of the Unknown. So Clara, please.
Okay. I was working with DevOps, agility, and all that stuff, but all my presentations were in Portuguese. And then I saw a post on LinkedIn saying that they are the call for papers, for Access Agile Festival. So I was thinking by myself, oh, it's a great opportunity to challenge myself and try something new, because I was studying in English as well. So I tried that, and it was a big challenge.
Okay.
We can move forward?
Yes.
Yes. And the preparation and anxiety. Yes. Imagine I am not a great presenter. So I had to put all the words and thoughts in Portuguese first and then in English. And the word choices maybe were wrong, but when you are writing, it's different when you are talking. That was the big challenge for me. But I saw my friend Andres Man that he said, okay, we can do this. Everyone can do the presentation in English, and that was a challenge for me as well. So I tried. And I saw this post and put my proposal, and it was accepted.
Yeah.
And it was very difficult for me, but okay, I will face this and move forward, please.
So this is
yes, a part of the
yeah, I'm going to play you now 3 small sections of Clara's presentation, and they're very short, just 15 seconds each or something like that. And I want to thank Clara for being brave enough to have her listen, to have you listen to her mistakes. And I'm using the air quotes here because I think that Clara's bravery here supersedes any kind of mistake. So I'm going to play this for you, and you can see how beautifully this is it. You should really look at this. I'm going to play this for you, and hopefully you guys can hear this. Here we go.
Here I can say, I want to highlight why the Agile world becomes or join to the DevOps world. So we can say that DevOps can be seen as the logical continuation of the Agile software.
Okay, who heard the mistake? Who can identify the mistake? Anybody? Billy, did you hear it?
Agile.
Well,
She said agile.
That's okay. That's okay. That's just a matter of accent. Which, and I'm not going to play it again. It's essentially, she said the word, and she really meant to say the world. Okay, the world. Now that's a really hard word for most people who speak Portuguese to say that word. But the big problem with this is, and this not only goes for this particular thing, it is for everything. I can understand every one of you through your accent, but if you speak one word and I think it's another word, I might have a problem. That's what I saw there. The DevOps word, not the DevOps world. Okay, so this is issue number 1, and this is correctable. But for most people, they don't realize that they're speaking one word and people are hearing another word. And this was a great.
Here I can say.
Oh, sorry. Well, okay, here's the second one. Tell me what you hear.
Now talking about transformation. How you can foster transformation in your organization. First, talking about the transformation, it's about collaboration everywhere. So affects a team, empowering them to more.
I'm not
Sorry.
hearing very well.
Doug, your phone is. Can you mute your phone, your audio?
Can you mute, Leonard?
It's Doug.
Oh, yeah.
Doug audio. It's open.
Yeah. Okay. Where is it? I don't see. Douglas?
I think you can mute him, Mike. I think you as
You can mute right button, right click. Oh no, he already is here.
He muted. Okay, good. Okay, fantastic. So what did we hear Clara say in that? 2 times we say something.
I didn't hear almost anything.
Okay.
Because, yeah.
Yeah, the same.
I'll play this one more time so you can hear.
Okay.
Now talking about digital transformation. How you can foster the digital transformation into your organization. First, talking about the transformational leadership, it's about collaboration and leadership everywhere. So a good leader affects a team performance, empowering them to do more. And
okay, what did we hear there? Anybody? Yeah, see,
tricky.
Yeah, Clara and I talked about this. Clara uses the transition word talking about 2 times in about 15 seconds. Okay, there are a lot of other transition words that we can use in English, as you know, in Portuguese. And so doing presentations requires a good knowledge of transitions. And again, this was Clara's first attempt in English, and she did a remarkable job for it. But this is a little bit error, and also a question form. How we can versus how can we? Okay, these are tiny. I notice them, but probably you guys don't. And here's the final one.
This one is good. It's about questioning if you are in the right path since you beginning your journey using agility.
Okay. So I'm going to save you the trouble because nothing that she said was really wrong, but this is wrong. This preposition should be on the right path versus in the right path, you know? One thing with if ever you do something in English and you're using text that people can read, make sure about these little prepositions or spelling or things like that, because these are the things that are we call glaring errors. Now, I thank Clara so much for allowing us to critique her work, and for the most part, you didn't even notice it. And so I know that Clara had a little anxiety when she was doing it and didn't know how the reaction was, but here is the reaction. And Clara, can you explain the reactions from these 2 ladies about your presentation?
Yes, first of all, that I have to say is that was a broken link, so nobody entered the room.
Oh.
Can you imagine that?
Oh,
it
no.
was my very first time presentation in English, and no one came to the room. So I thought by myself, oh yeah, I'm terrible. My presentation is terrible. But okay, I waited for 5 minutes and then start the recording my presentation. And then Joanna Masraf is one of the organizer of the Access Agile Festival, and she said that she cut the first 5 minutes for me, and then she was admired my presentation and let this kind of feedback. I was very happy to receive this compliment. And she's from England. I don't remember, maybe England. And Jacqueline Hegman is it's a friend of mine from Texas, and she said that he could understand everything I said, and I was really happy. And even though you were very, very afraid, and the things can go wrong in the middle, things change. Things change every time, but you can receive this kind of compliment. It was very thankful for them.
and that is really the point, that even though Clara had some issues, or she had some doubts about the effectiveness of her presentation, you know, the feedback that she got was not just good, but it was great, you know, totally and utterly amazing. I hope I'm able to be like you someday. And that was awesome. I learned so much. You should be so proud of yourself. Okay, so the lesson from Clara's presentation is, and the title of the module is go forth without fear. And from this point on, I want to hand the presentation over to Alice, who's going to talk a bit about the psychology of that, and how people get afraid and how they can overcome their fears. Okay, Alice, please.
Okay, thank you, Mike and Clara. And following Clara's story, I would like to highlight, highlighting that even though she was unsure of herself and she was afraid, she didn't allow her fear to paralyze her. That's really important, and this is the most important message I would like to give you. I know it's not easy, and that's why I would like to bring some points to think about it. There is no magic pill, but it's important to think about it and maybe try some new things. First of all, I would like to start talking about fear. Fear, actually, it's an important alert. It's an alert reaction for survival. It's really important to feel fear, because it make us it provide us some secure. It can be understood as a state of apprehension, of attention, waiting for something bad to happen. It also makes the organism put itself on alert in face of something that is believed as attack. And it causes some reactions like sweating, increasing heart rate, high levels of adrenaline. So, as I said, fear exists to protect us, but the problem is when it paralyzes you. So how can you overcome the fear of speaking English? And I'm thinking specifically about speaking English because I heard a lot of people saying that they can't speak in English, but I know that the person has a great knowledge in English. So first of all, I would like to bring you an important point to try to understand your own fear. Is your fear based on facts or in your imagination? For example, when you think about speaking English, you are afraid. For example, you are invited to go to a bar and talk to some people, but they are all Americans. And you say, oh, I don't know if I can go because I don't know how to talk to them. But what did you think? What is your fear? Do you think you're going to go there and meet that people and they are going to laugh of you? Or what do you think is going to happen? Ask yourself, what does having a conversation mean to you. It's, for example, if I want to live abroad, I have a dream, and my dream is to live in US. So learning English is an action, an important and essential action to make this dream come true. So I have a meaning of that. So I'm going to cross any barrier I'm gonna face because I really want to move to US. It's important. It's also important to recognize the excuses you give to yourself. For example, it's usually easy to run away of something that take you out of your comfort zone. For example, when you know you need to work out, but you have a lot of excuses to go to the gym. Or for example, you need to improve your conversation because your listening skills are not so good, but you avoid every invitation you have to participate in some meetings in English. We are always trying to skip some difficult parts, we think. We have two kind of mindsets. We have the fixed one and we have the growth mindset. People who have the fixed one, they think that people were born with some specific abilities and they are not able to do different things than that abilities make them able to do. But people who have a growth mindset, they know people usually were born with some potentials, but they can go forward, can improve these potentials by studying, by practicing, by having some different experience. So try to see which mindset is yours and try to change for a growth mindset. I know it's not easy, and I know it's not something that's going to happen suddenly, but you can try and do different things, and maybe you can improve a lot of things, not just in English. Accept that you will be making mistakes, and that's okay. There is no problem. You just need to see what you did wrong and then try it doing again, but in a different way. For example, try to see the things, for example, Mike said about Clara's presentation. He said something about how to use the prepositions. So if you realize that you did mistakes like that, try to learn more about that subject. And try not to focus on your fear. For example, when you need to do something that's really important and you are afraid of doing that, try to not focus on the problem, to focus on you think it's not going to be well. For example, now I am a great example of that. For me, it's not easy at all. I'm not a good speaker, even in Portuguese, in presentations. And here in English is worse. And actually, this is my first presentation in English. So if I think about what you were thinking about me, or what my fear, what am I afraid of, I cannot do this presentation. So try to think about what you need to do. If you are going to have a conversation to people in a bar, try to focus to know people, to talk to them. Okay, I think that's it, the message I would like to give. I hope it helps you to think and to make different things from now. And I say it again, it's not magical. Unfortunately, there isn't a pill, a magic pill, but you're just going to move on if you practice, if you keep going.
Very, very well. So Clara and Alice, thank you so much. That was marvelous. So for the rest of you, I hope that you can see that learning in and of itself is useless if you don't have the courage to use what you have learned. And the lessons of Clara and Alice illustrate that, okay? I'm going to circle back now to something that I said in the beginning of the webinar, is that we, Fast Forward, wants to unlock what you already know and have you use it effectively, okay? That can be done by using some of the information presented here, certainly by Clara and Alice. However, the proof is in the pudding, as we like to say here in the US. So I thought that we would finish with a little bit of a test, okay? So the last module is stepping out of the comfort zone, okay? And as Alice just mentioned, many students are afraid, and many students are afraid to sound like a native speaker, which sounds crazy. And Clara even said, "Are you sure that doesn't mean not to sound like a native speaker?" I said, "No, it's to sound like a native speaker because it sounds strange to you to hear those sounds coming out of your mouth. But you've got to get past that and accept that English is not Portuguese and it doesn't sound like Portuguese, and you have to make different sounds to do that." I enjoy trying to sound like Brazilian, and I have a couple of good Portuguese words that I can say pretty well. But boy, you can tell I'm American if I spoke even a couple of sentences. Okay, so it's the goal of most people to sound like a native speaker, but people might criticize you. Your friends may laugh at you. You might think you don't sound good, or worse yet, you might sound really good, and then native speakers will talk to you just like they think you're a native speaker, which is really the goal you should be striving for. But you have to get past the fear of that. And so here are 5 of the most common mistakes that people make who are Portuguese speakers, and I'll go through them very quickly. And the first one is speaking English like it's Portuguese. It's not, okay? When you speak, there's a certain music of Brazilian Portuguese. And of course, it changes from Rio Grande do Sul to the Northeast, but it's not English. It doesn't sound anything like English. And that's what we normally call an accent, okay? The second one is the ED ending, which is spoken like walk it or jump it or look it. And that's you speak that because of the stress. Your stress is even. You see that syllable, you pronounce it. We do not. Okay. Adding sounds on the end of words like officey or YouTube, you know, like that stuff. Or not saying the Y, like parch instead of party. Okay. And the last 2 are making it like Thiago, which is really in English would be Tiago, but Thiago or Team. So Microsoft Teams is not Microsoft Teams. And also the really challenging American R, which is like a growling dog sound, and which is like an sound, which is a very dangerous sound to make. And a lot of people don't like to make it. So I thought that we would finish tonight by giving you a 3-stage test. Now, not everybody has to take it, but I would be very impressed with people who volunteer for this. The first part is very easy, okay? All I would like you to do is to say these sentences just the way that I say them, okay? Just the way that I say them. And I will even give you an example, and I want you to try to imitate me, okay? You can look at this as a reference point, but don't read it because you're not going to sound like me. I want you to try to sound like me. All right. So, Douglas, let me start with you. What time does the meeting start?
What time does the meeting start?
Pretty good. It sounded okay, right? Sounded pretty good. His intonation was pretty good. Okay. Let's see. Ana Paula, you're the product owner, right?
Yes.
Okay. The product owner has her own thoughts on this matter.
The product owner has her own thoughts on this matter.
You're reading it. The product owner has her own thoughts on this matter. Okay. That's how Portuguese sounds. And that's okay. I don't expect miracles here. I don't expect miracles. Okay. Christiani, Agile and DevOps are complementary.
Agile and DevOps are complementary.
Good. Well, it's a little bit, okay? So when I say these, which techniques can you hear me say? Can you hear me reduce? Can you hear me stress? Agile and DevOps are complementary. Can you hear that? I'm saying are complementary. I'm stressing. This is part one of the test, okay? Part two, all right? Many people really love to watch American movies, and they know very famous movie lines. And so I thought we'd have a little fun with this, and we'll see if you can sound like our favorite Sith Lord here, Darth Vader. So let's take a listen to this one. And Leo, I'm going to ask you to do this one. So listen carefully. He told me enough. Right. So Leo,
I could not. I could not hear. I could not hear.
Me neither. Me neither.
Okay, I'm going to try to do my Darth Vader impersonation. Sound like me. Okay? Leo, I am your father. Say it just like.
Should I do the voice too?
Yes, of course. Yeah, exactly. This is the brave part. If you can do this, then you can do anything. I am your father.
Okay. I am your father.
Good. I applaud you. Good work. Good work. That's many people would never take that step. They, oh no, I can't do that. I don't want to sound that. Yeah, I applaud you too. Okay, Lennon, can you do that? I am your father.
I am your father.
Oh yeah, you do it better.
Wow.
Than me. You do it better than me. Fantastic. Fantastic. Well, the final test, which is the most difficult. Final test, which is the most difficult, is. Everybody know this guy? Okay. This is Elvis Presley. For those of you who don't know, and I think everybody knows Elvis Presley. And I would like you to try to sing a little bit like Elvis Presley. Now, singing is a very scary experience for most people because they don't believe that they can sing. I disagree. I think that most people love to sing, and they sing when they're alone because they're not confident enough to sing in front of people. It takes a special person to sing in front of people because you have to be really confident in your own abilities. I wish more people sang in front of people. It's one of the best things. So I'm going to play this. If you can't hear it, I will sing it for you. Okay, because I can sound just like Elvis. All right, here we go. Hound dog. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. Okay, could you hear it? Okay. Who's my brave volunteer? Who's gonna step forward and show me how brave you really are? Anybody? Christiani's smiling. Leonardo's smiling. Douglas is smiling. Renata. Anybody? This is the ultimate test.
Can I try it?
Who's that?
Me.
Oh yeah, go ahead, Landon. Go.
You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time.
There you go.
That's it.
That's a brave man for you right there. That's a brave man for you right there. I'm not gonna insist that anybody else try it, but if anybody else wants to try it, I would love to hear you. Don't worry, you know, it's not gonna be terrible. Anybody? One more person? No. Okay, I'll do it. Okay, you want I'll do it. So I'll see if I can do it better than Len. Okay. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. See, singing is confidence. Now, I've been singing for most of my life, so it doesn't bother me even a little bit to do that. But getting to the point where you're brave enough to do that, even a 10 or 13 second here is really saying a whole lot. If you can get past the fear that Clara mentioned and that Alice touched on so well, and you can do stuff like this to sound different than you sound now, it makes a world of difference, because then you'll be able to hear better when you do that. I think we are just about finished here today. Yeah, so congratulations. That wasn't so hard. For those of you who passed the bravery test, you've taken the first step on the road to the conference. Making the transition is up to you. Alice's points were really good. Don't be afraid of mistakes. Don't be afraid to sound bad or to make mistakes. We all make them. You make them in Portuguese. I make them in English. So what's next from us? Well, as I mentioned in the beginning, I'm going to, based on the reaction to this, is to create some training courses, and some of the subjects that we worked on tonight will be included, but also there'll be bigger subjects: interviews, meetings, presentations, etc. Learning how to use English in that, and also some vocabulary of DevOps, Agile methodology, things like that. That will be included in these future trainings. I'm envisioning them as like a couple of maybe a couple of 2-hour trainings, and after which I would give you guys a certificate for passing the exam. And also, do not forget, here's my friend Andre Suman, and we will be having another free webinar with Andre on the 29th of this month. If you want to, just email Ilaria, as many of you did. Andre is a wonderful presenter, and he is going to talk about Agile methodology. WTH is that in English. And I've seen his presentation. It's marvelous, and he's a great presenter. So if you want to do that, I would be very happy to have you attend. I'm going to attend that too, because I love listening to Andre. He's a wonderful speaker. So thanks for coming, everybody. And does anybody have any questions for myself or for Clara or for Alice? Can we give you guys any more information about anything that was presented here tonight, or any questions in general about any of the topics? Anybody?
Not. It's only grateful presentation. So thank you so much.
Okay, and don't go anywhere yet, because I have to take everybody's picture to make sure that
it was a great presentation, and I have to say that when I didn't train the song, singing was way harder.
Yeah.
You know, if I don't train the song, singing, it's way harder.
You are a brave man, and I'm very happy with that. One thing that I wanted to just mention very briefly about some of the stuff that I talked about. The way that I teach English is for you to hear it better first. So you don't have to say, when are we going to go to lunch, and things like that. But I want you to be able to hear that. And what we try to teach are very different methods in an agile fashion, so that you don't have to waste a lot of time learning things that you don't really want to know. And I'm happy that I work with Leonardo and Douglas and Suyan and Billy. And these guys were great students. If you don't want to, and it doesn't matter, you can still come to webinars. You don't have to be my student to come to these. I'm just trying to spread the word, if you will. And Hinata, I'm so happy to see you here. And I'm grateful, of course, for the great work that Clara and Alice did. I visited Clara and Alice and met them for the first time earlier this year, as it was in April, and I saw Renata on that trip as well. That's when we got the idea to do this kind of a presentation, and it's been almost 6 months, and it's a long time to do it, but I'm happy you enjoyed it, and please keep in contact with us. We'll reach out to you probably to get a little feedback, because it's always important for us to understand what we did well, what we didn't do well for future presentation. Victor, it's nice to see you. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to say hello to you in the beginning. So thank you for coming. How long have you been here, Victor? A long time?
Since the beginning, I'm almost 5 minutes late, so I guess I missed the introductions.
Okay, fantastic. And anybody, no questions from anybody, no comments? I thank you so much for the thing. All good?
Oh,
Go ahead, Leonardo.
thank you very much, Clara and Alice, because it gives me some confidence to do some presentation in English too. The part of losing our fear to speak English is very important, and Mike has been helping me a lot with it. So thank you very much. It was a great presentation, really.
Yeah, you're more than welcome. I cannot stress enough how big of a factor fear is in stopping people from learning. I said in the beginning, I'll repeat myself last time. I know that you guys know more than you think you know. And I would say that for Alice and Clara too, that they know more than they think they know. It's just being able to say it, just getting it out there and saying it. Don't be afraid. Okay, don't be afraid. Okay. Very nice. Thank you so much for coming, everybody. Clara, Alice, thank you so much for all your help. Okay, you guys can go. You guys can go to sleep now. I know it's almost 9:30. All right.
Thank
you very much.
The picture.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
The picture.
Yeah. Oh, so can anybody take a picture from their keyboard? Because I can't. I don't have a. Can somebody take a picture from their keyboard? Alice, can you do that?
Sure, I can do that.
Okay,
Everybody ready?
Yep.
Camila, Douglas,
And
Thiago. Can open your video camera?
Oh, Thiago is there. Yeah, he's in the dark.
yes, poor Thiago. Okay, so let's take our picture.
Okay.
Cheese. Okay, I got it.
Thank you so much. And you'll certainly see that on LinkedIn. I'm going to stop the recording right now.